it's hard figuring out what you can do to stay engaged as a citizen, especially when, people are unemployed and there seems to be a lot of unrest and turmoil in the country.
The Election Assistance Commission reports that fears of COVID-19 have led to a critical need for poll workers to assist with in-person voting in the upcoming elections.
And I thought about it for my daughter. And then I said, you know what, I could take the day off and work the polls, because a majority of the people that work the polls in our area are elderly people. And with COVID-19 being such a high risk for them, catching COVID-19 being high risk for them, I'm getting paid by my job anyway for taking the day off. So I felt like it was kind of unfair to take additional money when they can give it to someone else. There hasn't been a lot of room for time off because we've all been needed in the office to kind of keep things running and keep the staff in high spirits. So I have a lot of time off. So I figured, I can sacrifice 8 hours of PTO or 10 hours of PTO to take the day off to do this. It just made me feel good not having to put some, just being able to kind of take one for the team, I guess, stepping up to the plate, being a volunteer and not allowing someone else who may have an immunocompromised condition or be highly susceptible to catching coronavirus.
In the 2016 general elections, 917,694 poll workers served polling places across the country, according to the Election Assistance Commission. 24% of them included workers over the age of 71, which is a high-risk age group for COVID-19.
Most poll workers are usually older folks who are more vulnerable to COVID. And, this is a way I can get out there and actually help instead of sort of feeling helpless. I think we need people from around the political spectrum, of Democrats and Republicans and Libertarians and Greens and whatever, to sort of come together, and if they can, and if it's safe for them to do so, to try to give back in this way.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.